compact SUV segment is a growing segment worldwide, not only in South Africa. And just about each and every manufacturer has an offering of sorts. You're spoiled for choice, you really are. You've got Audi's Q2, VW's Tiguan. You've got the likes of the Nissan Qashqai. There's so many. For Peugeot, it's the 2008. Yes, you're tempted to say 2008, but you can't say 2008 because then the executives that make the James Bond films are going to run around waving their hands in the air. They don't like that much. So it's the 2008. Peugeot were one of the first to give us a bit of a crossover. That's a little scaled up from a hatch, but scaled down from an SUV. The one we're driving here is 1.6 diesel. Makes 68 kilowatts, 230 newton meters, and it's mated to a 5-speed gearbox. You don't get it with an automatic locally, and I think that would be quite nice. Now, while the motor's pretty decent, I'm more blown away by the styling. I really think it's fresh and inventive. It really is some out-of-the-box thinking. Unfortunately, being French, they've also tried to reinvent the wheel sometimes, literally and figuratively. The steering wheel that you've got here is really small, but it's not a bad thing. You get used to it. It's like the 308. Another trait that's been carried over from the 308 is the way that you look at the clocks. You don't look at them through the steering wheel, you look at them over the steering wheel. And they're very similar in design, even if they have changed the needles. The needles on the 308 work from the outside in. These ones are more traditional. But I like the ambient glowing around there. And talking of ambient glowing, if you take at the roof line, it's got these striking marks in it. It looks like Wolverine's beam here. But oddly enough, at night, these actually light up and it gives you a bit of an ambient effect. It's quite nice, the atmosphere is really good. They've also tried to reinvent the handbrake, and that was quite unnecessary actually. It's not the first time that we've seen people try and reinvent what is essentially a lever, but Peugeot have gone and done it. The seats are great, half leather and a fantastic material as well. And of course it's super comfy. It's Peugeot, it's always going to be comfortable. But the overall feel of everything is just so fantastic. You look at the dashboard and it looks like it's supposed to be hard plastic, but then you press on it and you realize, hey, this is squishy. That's quite nice. And infotainment system. Familiar to Citroën or Peugeot owners, but this one's bundled with CarPlay, and I absolutely love CarPlay. I think it's a fantastic way to integrate smartphone and infotainment. Plug it in, Bob's your auntie. Now, another one that's available in this market is the Hyundai Creta. But Lawrence is driving that one.
And this is it, the Hyundai Creta. Now, for those of you that know me, you know that I'm a bit of a Hyundai fanboy, and that I really love my Tucson. And I think maybe that's why I like this Creta so much. It's because it's so much like my Tucson, it's uncanny. As far as interior refinements go, there's a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system. There is this lovely leather-bound steering wheel with very easy to use simple controls, and a 6th gear. Now, unlike Chad, who only has a 5-speed in that Peugeot of his, I have a 6-speed auto, which is mated to a diesel engine, which will give you 94 kilowatts, 260 newton meters. Now, it does make it so that you're only going to get about 7.6 liters per 100, but in a drive this good, you can't really complain. Now, if I have to be very critical, I'd have to say the biggest lack of interior refinement would be the fact that things are a little bit plasticky. But don't tell Chad I said that. Speaking of Chad, I think that I'm having way more fun in this Creta than what he's having in that Peugeot 2 Infinity 8.
So, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, bud, I really like this Creta.
Really?
Really. But as much as I like it, I'd like to sample this 2 Infinity 8 of yours.
It's a 2008, I've just been over it.
No, that is an infinity symbol on the back.
You're really being a bit pedantic about this, splitting hairs, eh?
Yes, because that's what we do.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. If you say it's as good as what it is, I'd like to sample the Creta. So I'll tell you what, let's swap it and let's see if this
holds up to what you've been singing about. You're backing up, by the way. Nah, not impressed. It's spacious, I'll give it that much, but it's just, sadly, it's nothing new. It's just so typical Hyundai. And it's all very hard, plasticky. You've got leather seats and leather gaiter and leather-bound steering wheel, but the rest of the stuff's actually just all hard molded plastics. It is quiet though, I'll give it that much. The 2008 is a little noisy, if I have to be honest. And this motor's got a little more poke. But that little more poke comes at a price because he's averaging 7.6 litres per 100 in this thing. I'm hovering around 5.8. So I can sort of live with a little extra noise and a little less power if it's going to return better fuel consumption figures. And while we're talking rands and cents, the Creta is about 70,000 Rand more expensive. This comes in at 370,000 Rand, whereas the 2008 comes in at 300,000 Rand. Gotta weigh them up.
Yeah, it's very French. I mean, I would like somebody in Peugeot's design office to please explain to me what this is, or this, or even all of this. I feel like I'm locked in an Art Deco museum. Don't even get me started on the agricultural nature of this diesel engine. I mean, it is so noisy. And then there's the fact that I have to change gears myself. I mean, it's positively archaic. But that being said, I think Peugeot has hit a home run here, because this car is so easy to drive. It's so comfortable. And the amount of kit that you're getting packed into this little car for just 300,000 Rand it's mind-boggling. I don't know how Peugeot does it and stays in business. But I wish somebody would put me back in the Creta.
Back that side.
Is it really that bad? You don't smoke it?
No, it's not bad. It's just a little uninspired, unfortunately. I prefer the Peugeot over the Creta.
You know what? As much as a fanboy of Hyundai as I am, and as much as I like this Creta, I've got to give credit where it's due, and Peugeot really has come to the party with this 2 Infinity 8.
2008.
Whatever.
No, it is. And I think in this market segment, things are so tough that you really do need to pull out all the stops to try and impress. I mean, there are how many different offerings from the different manufacturers?
30.
There's about 30 odd. And you do need to do what we've done now and go and drive them, ideally back to back, and go and draw your own opinions.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
Go drive them.